Do you like racing? Do you like explosions? Well, you could join the Demolition Derby, or you could listen to me talk about Split Second. Split Second is Need for Speed by way of Michael Bay. Fast cars, big explosions, minimal subtlety. Even crazier, this is a Disney game, because when I think of balls to the walls racing, I think of the House of Mouse. Split Second was Disney trying to appeal to core gamers by publishing serious games. It was around this time we got games like this and the Turok reboot that were a little more mature than kid stuff like Kingdom Hearts. Split Second was made during a period where developers got a little crazy with their driving games. Split Second had blockbuster action, Blur had Mario Kart style power-ups, and Driver San Francisco had a quantum leaping shift mechanic. Point is, Split Second was unique. It was original. It was a commercial bomb. Its slick production values and glowing reviews didn't translate to huge sales. Neither did its marketing or lack thereof. Unless you were glued to the Disney Channel 24/7 like I was, you likely didn't know about Split Second. Disney made the bright decision to release it the same week as Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar's Western opus challenged Split Second to a duel and sent it straight into the bargain bin grave. Split Second's failure killed any chance of a franchise and killed its creator, Black Rock Studio. Today it's considered a cult classic, and I was curious to see if this relic from my teenage years still drives well or if it should keep gathering dust in the garage. Split Second isn't just the name of the game, it's the name of a fictional TV show. You'll dodge dangerous explosions and squeeze through deadly collisions for the sake of entertainment. Each episode delivers new hazards to avoid and opponents to beat. Will you make it to the top, or will you end up in the scrapyard? Split Second has the most minimal of minimal setups. I like the fictional TV show concept and how it's weaved into the gameplay and aesthetics. The campaign consists of 12 episodes, each with its own tracks and event types. You get a teaser at the start and end of each episode that hints at what's to come.
This time on Split Second.
Wow.
Additional things like the channel watermark add to the aesthetic, but it doesn't translate to a memorable story. Aside from the announcer, there's no other cast to speak of. I think the least they could have done was had a protagonist who was our eyes in the Split Second's explosive world. It would have better sold the idea of starring as a rookie racer and rising through the ranks to become a network star. Instead, there is no driver, a John Split Second if you will, just a car. The car may have a name, but there's no person behind the wheel, literally. Though with the amount of carnage in this game, it's probably for the better because man, some of the things that happen to you and your opponents is brutal.
Holy shit.
The lack of story didn't bother me much until the ending. Spoilers ahead, but as you're enjoying the spoils of your last hurrah, a never-before-seen rival crashes the party. Cue the cliffhanger.
Oh boy. This ain't gonna end well.
You know what's bullshit? All the damn 7th-gen games that tease the damn sequel, knowing they damn well never got one. It's kind of frustrating revisiting this era because so many games never got their promised follow-up, this one included. Up until now, there's been barely a plot, but now we gotta deliver a sequel. What's that? The game bombed and our studio's getting shut down? Well, shucks. Sorry to rant, but the moral of the story is, if you can't do a sequel, don't tease one. Split Second's racing is familiar, explosively familiar. Over the course of 12 episodes, you'll race, drift, and dodge your way to victory, earning points to progress further in the campaign and unlock new sets of wheels. You have a diverse selection of vehicles including sports cars, muscle cars, and trucks. Some are built for speed, others are built for endurance. Control-wise, it's top-notch. The vehicle handling feels precise but arcadey. Cars have the right amount of weight to them, allowing you to take corners and get some sick drift with a few good holds of the left trigger. Each vehicle has its own stats, with some rides being more useful than others depending on the event. Smooth driving is fun, but it's not Split Second's selling point. It's the destruction, specifically power plays. You build up energy from driving and dodging. Build up enough and you can unleash a power play. Your basic power play does things like make a helicopter drop an explosive barrel or explode a gas station. Advanced power plays are more devastating. How devastating? We're talking dam destroying, airplane crashing, nuclear reactor collapsing levels of devastation. Some of these more destructive options open new routes, changing the flow of races as you quickly adapt to your new surroundings. Power plays aren't something you can spam willy-nilly. Not only does it require energy, but it also requires timing. An overhead icon indicates when an opponent can be power played. Time it right to take out multiple opponents. Time it wrong and you crash into a wall because of your poorly timed mistake. It's these power plays that turn ordinary races into pure chaos. There were plenty of times where my butthole clenched as I narrowly avoided yet another explosion or some catastrophic event that was hurled my way. Split Second is what I call a holy shit game, because that's what you'll be shouting every few minutes. It makes the races so intense yet so rewarding. There's nothing quite as satisfying as barreling down the last stretch of road, gunning for the finish line while praying no one tries to screw you over before you reach the checkered flag. Racing isn't the only thing you'll do, as there are additional events. You'll dodge big rigs flinging barrels left and right, or participate in elimination races where being last is a death sentence. Airstrike sees you dodge missile volleys to earn as many points possible. Air Revenge turns the tables, letting you strike back against that pesky helicopter. My personal favorite is this game's take on time trials. They remind me of Stuntman in that it's about nailing the perfect lap while dodging everything the game throws at you. Split Second feels like it was heavily influenced by Burnout and Stuntman. You can see the former's influence in the fast cars and fast Mayhem. The instant replays of your vehicular carnage call to mind Burnout's crash cam. Yet I was also reminded of Stuntman in that it's a fictional TV show like Stuntman's fictional movies, but also its emphasis on driving well while avoiding dangerous obstacles. The difference is Split Second won't make you break your controller in half like Stuntman does. Well, for the most part. I'm not a Gran Turismo guy or a Forza freak. I play racing games because I want to go fast and drive cool cars. Split Second delivers in that regard. It's a well-polished racer with some of the best driving from the 7th generation, but with the bonus of you get to blow shit up. As someone who loves blowing shit up, it just makes Split Second that extra bit badass. Mechanically, Split Second feels sturdy, though there are some noticeable dents in its body. The near-death thrill of unleashing power plays loses some of its appeal as you progress through the campaign. The first half does a great job doling out new tracks and event types. Like a real-life TV show, it gets you excited for the next episode because you don't know what's in store. Unfortunately, much like a TV show, what made the early episodes exciting loses its appeal several episodes later. Split Second heavily recycles content for the latter half of the campaign. It's common to race on one track only to race on the same track the next episode. Ditto for events, as aside from Air Revenge, there's nothing new, just endless swapping. The only real mix-up is the introduction of mega tracks that combine areas into one gigantic map. It's cool, I guess, but it's just the same areas stitched together. The only difference between then and now is the AI is more rubber banding.
Oh boy.
For those who are a little rusty, rubber banding is when the AI is able to magically catch up to the player or stay ahead of them. Split Second unfortunately commits this cardinal sin. I noticed I kept placing in second no matter how well I drove, and that's because my AI opponent was always conveniently ahead of me, no matter what I did. It felt like there was this invisible barrier wedged between me and my rival that I wasn't allowed to cross. The questionable AI limits which cars you can use. For the first half, I could swap vehicles no problem because the game encouraged me to. It was exciting to take my newly unlocked car out for a test drive. That changed towards the end as I relied on specific cars because they were the only ones capable of keeping up. All the others were about as useful as a Pinto, and about as durable. I feel like if they had either A, shaved off a couple episodes to reduce padding, or B, introduced at least one more event or track to stave off monotony, then it would have made for a stronger campaign. I will say that for all its shortcomings, the thrill of nabbing first place never got old. The finale was especially satisfying because it felt like the stakes were high knowing this was the last race. And when I crossed the finish line and came out the reigning champion, man, it wasn't just a victory, it was a You can tell this game was made with Disney money because damn have the graphics held up. Everything about it, from the vehicle modeling to the environments to the instructions, still looks great. They peppered in a lot of little details into the graphics. I mentioned earlier there's a channel watermark that flashes as you're taking corners. One I'm especially fond of is how new decals are applied to your vehicle for every trophy unlocked. It's a nice visual representation of your progression. There is some minor texture pop-in and frame rate dips when things get too hectic, but these were rare, which is even more impressive given all the high-speed action. Split Second benefits from a good sound system because the sound design will rock your subwoofers. I especially love the brief dip in music whenever a cataclysmic power play is triggered. That little detail sells the huge impact of what you're witnessing. Split Second isn't quite the crown champion, but it definitely earns its spot in second place. Like I said at the start, I haven't touched this game in years, so when I sat down to play the game, I knew I expect destruction. I just forgot how ridiculously chaotic it would get. Even if you strip away the mass mayhem, it's still a damn good racer. Driving feels great, as does the satisfaction of unlocking new vehicles and working your way through the ranks. While the lack of variety stalls the engine at the worst times, the thrill of unleashing power plays never wore thin. I just wish there were more places to drive around.
Great season, crew. It's a wrap.
It's disappointing Split Second never took off because this could have been Disney's The Fast and the Furious. BlackRock Studio was actively working on a sequel before they were shuttered. It's sad because this game was ripe with franchise potential, but Disney thought the future of gaming wasn't Split Second 2, seconds before disaster, it was mobile phones. We still get racing games, yes, but they're more iterative than they are innovative. That's not to say they're bad, it's just they lack the creative spark of something like Split Second, where they did something new with something familiar. Basically, what I'm saying is the new Forza Horizon could benefit from some more Mayhem. Split Second gets an 8.
Aliens are coming!